Hi, I'm Amber. Welcome to today's lower body recovery and stretch circuit. So the only equipment we're using today is a foam roller. But again, anything cylindrically shaped works great. So you could take a water bottle, wrap it in a sweatshirt. I'm actually using a piece of PVC pipe that has some old yoga mat glued to it today. This is a little bit more intense than a foam roller. So because I'm using, something that's firm and doesn't have a whole lot of give to it. That being said, my glutes are, in desperate need of some love and care. So this is the right choice for me today. But again, anything shaped like a log. It doesn't even need to be this long. That's what we're going for today. All right, so we're going to start extending the legs out in front of us. We're going to cross the right leg over the left. Pivot towards that bent knee. Nice deep twist here, just opening up those hips, opening up the side of the body. Again, remembering that just because we're focusing on the lower body today, everything's connected. The better, we treat the body as a whole, the easier it is to fix these issues that are, plaguing us right now. All right, let's switch it to the other side. Extend, cross that for opposite leg over, pivot towards that bent knee. While we're in the twist, we want to keep it nice and deep. Again, breathing into the open space in that hip. Really making the most of our twist here. All right, we're going to bring it back through center. Pads of the feet come together. Let's take the knees out wide into a butterfly, keeping that back nice and tall, one vertebrae stacked on top of the other, shoulders pulling down and away from the earlobes. We're going to hinge at this waistline, reach it forward just far enough so we feel a little bit of an engagement in those inner thighs. Right at that point where the leg and the torso come together, we want a nice gentle stretch, nice hip opener. And we're just going to pulse through that small range of movement here just till we feel that stretch engage and then release. Bring it forward, release it back. One more time, take it forward and release. All right, we're going to grab that foam roller or foam roller adjacent item that we're using. We're going to sit on it. So, again, it doesn't need to be as long as mine is. We're going to kind of position through and work one side of the booty before we work the other. So, again, if it's not that long, right now, keep it shifted over to that right side. All right, so I've got my right hip up on this roller right now. I'm going to bend into that knee, using the other knee for support. I'm just going to roll and retreat. Roll to the side, pull it back. Again, just like in the full body video. My foam roller isn't rolling back and forth right now. I'm just using that cylindrical shape to kind of rock side to side, give myself a little bit of a massage. We're breaking up any knotty tissue, giving that muscle a little bit of relief here, side to side. If you find a spot that's just, really juicy and needs a little bit of extra love, don't be afraid to spend a little bit more time there. Just kind of hang out. Again, roll a little bit right around that specific area. And take it back. Let's take it to the other side of the body. We're going to reposition ourselves, anchor into that opposite leg. The side that we're working on, that leg is going to bend down. Lean to the side and retreat. Lean and retreat. I'm using that arm to support as well. Again, this isn't about ab engagement. This isn't about holding ourselves up and keeping ourselves as tall and long as possible through the torso. This is about relaxing, finding those recovery points, giving the body a little bit of love. Maybe it's after a workout, maybe it's on a rest day, but just taking a few moments to, again, show your body you care, giving it that recovery that it ever so desperately needs. If you find that good spot, feel free to hang out there for a few seconds, really work out that knot, take that torso into some small circles, shift that weight just a little bit. Right now, I'm really working on the outer portion of my glutes. Again, this is all personal preference. It's kind of figuring out what your body is looking for, what it needs. That area of my glutes is just always a little bit tighter. I tend to do activities that put a lot of stress on my glute medius, so I want to make sure that, again, when I'm taking the time to recover and roll everything out, That's the area that's getting that little bit of extra love. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna roll off that foam roller. Place it to the side. Bring it back to a comfortable seated position. Let's take the torso around, loosening up those hips. Nice, big, deep circles, working within a full range of movement, but keeping those sits bones grounded down to the floor. Take it back the other way. Rolling it around. I'm not letting those hips rise up or roll with me. Everything's coming from this midsection here. All right, let's take it into a runner's lunge from here. So we're going to start with the right leg forward, left leg back. I've got a 90-degree bend in both knees, 90-degree bend in both ankles. My torso is nice and tall, holding everything up through those abs here. We're just going to start by pressing forward into that lunge and pulling back. From the side, I've got a 90-degree bend in all of my joints, pressing forward, pulling back up. And just flow through a few movements here. Again, we're only going far enough forward till we feel the top of that quad engage before we pull it back. Last one. All right, we're going to take it side to side. So we're going to roll to the outside portion of the foot, fan that knee to the side, bring it back through center, fold it across the midline. We're rolling to the sides of the foot as we go here. Really, again, expanding that range of movement, getting into those hip flexors, showing that lower body a little bit of love. Nice and gentle side to side. One more seat to each side. Open and over. All right, we're going to straighten through this front leg, sit back into that rear heel. I'm flexing my foot, pulling the toes in towards my face. Right now I'm looking for that engagement through the back of the calf. I'm really articulating that heel by pushing it forward as I pull those toes back. Really focus on getting a nice sharp 90-degree bend in that ankle. Let's hold here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to take it to the other side. Let's roll it back up. Opposite knee comes forward. We'll start with that side view. 90-degree bend in my ankle, my knee, and my back knee. We're going to press forward into that front lunge and retreat. If you'll notice, my knee is going just as far forward as my front toe. I'm not hyperextending beyond that toe. Everything's staying in line. I'm only going far enough forward till, again, I feel that engagement right in the top of the quad. Feel that area where my leg and my torso come together, just gently stretching. Last one, pull it back out and rise. Coming back through center, we're going to roll to the outside of the foot, open up through the inner thigh and hip flexor, back through center, roll across the midline. Roll to the outside, back through center, and across. Letting that foot move with the leg. The knee is guiding, the rest of the leg is just going along for the ride. And last time, crossing that midline. Let's sit back into that rear heel, extend that front leg out nice and long, flexing that front foot. I'm pushing the heel out and away as the toes are pulling back towards my torso. I want to feel the engagement in the back of that calf all the way up into the back part of my knee. Breathing into the stretch. Let's hold for 4, 3, 2, and release. Let's bring it to a seated position. Let's extend the legs out in front of us. We're going to point and flex the toes. Point and flex. Take it through just a few more rotations here. Really articulating that point, pulling those toes in towards the face, pushing the heels out and away. Last time. All right, we're going to bend into both knees, bringing them out into a narrow straddle. From here, we're going to tip both knees to one side and come back through center, rolling to the opposite side. Feel free to brace with the hands if you need to for support. We're just rotating through both of those hip joints. Think about those legs as a ball and socket joint right at that hip, giving it that full range of motion all the way around, up and across, up and across. Let's take one more to each side, make sure we're balanced. Beautiful. All right, from here, let's lay it down onto our backs. We're gonna hug the knees into the chest. Start by just gently pulling them in, opening up through the lower back. From here, let's bring the arms out to a T, so nice straight arms out to the side. We're gonna drop the knees to one side, raising those hips up so they're stacked one on top of the other. And just hang out here for a few moments. Let those hips fall open to the side. Again, checking through that hip alignment. My top hip is right on top of the bottom one. And roll back through center. Take those legs to the other side. Bring your gaze either straight up or towards the direction those knees are pointing in. Let that top hip just fall open as it stacks on top of the bottom hip. And back through center one last time. All right, let's hug the knees into the chest. And we're gonna end this sequence with a pigeon stretch on each side. So, couple of options here. For our first lowest impact option, we can take the leg, grabbing the ankle or the shin, gently pulling across the body, so that way we're controlling the amount of pressure going into that hip. If that's a little bit, not quite enough stretch for you, we can take it into our half pigeon. We're gonna bring our shin out in front of us so it's forming a nice perpendicular line to our back leg, which is extending straight behind us. And we're gonna lower down using our body weight to open up that front hip. So this is gonna be a little bit more intense. Again, we're using our body weight, so it's a little less control as to the amount of pressure that goes into it. But if you're looking for a deeper stretch, this is a really great option. All right, just breathe into that stretch. Again, whether we're pulling the shin towards the chest or we're in our full half pigeon, melt down, just let that hip fall open. This is one of those stretches that if you want to take a little bit more time, pause the video or come back at the end to spend some more time in. It's a really great option. It can leave your hips feeling a heck of a lot better than they did when they went into this whole workout, or sequence, I should say. All right, we're gonna take this to the other side now. So again, we're either on our back, gently pulling that shin in towards the chest, or we're putting that shin flat across the ground in front of us. Think of if you're using a yoga mat, that shin should be parallel to the front of your mat. Back leg extends nice and straight behind. We lower ourselves down using our body weight to open up that hip. Breathing into that space in the hip. Again, right where the torso and the leg come together. Just enjoying the stretch all the way back through the glute. Those glutes are big muscles. They do a lot of work for us. This is a great way to kind of pay them back a little bit. Again, feel free to spend a little bit of extra time here. Pause the video, come back at the end. Always an option for you. When you're ready, we are going to gently roll out of our stretch, make it back to our nice comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you today. We're going to roll those shoulders to the back a few times. Just loosening up that upper body. Again, it's all connected. We just want to release that stress. Take those shoulders forward. Let's sweep those arms up overhead, reach the fingertips up and away. If it's comfortable and accessible, bring the hands just behind the head. Take this into a little bit of a back bend. And when you're ready, push out and away. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you all really soon. Have a great afternoon.